Okay, everyone, let's do another set of videos. Again, this is actually a lot of IM2, but obviously this is for IM3. And without talking too much, let's get going here. So I decided I would start out by going right in the middle of this worksheet here, because starting with number 11, this is IM2. This is something all of you should know. Okay, especially if you're in IM3 right now. But anyways, that being said, here's what you should know. You should notice here's my angle theta down here, and our goal is to find what angle theta is. Well, notice how we have 4 here, which we would refer to as the opposite of theta. And we have right next to it right here, that 3, which is adjacent. And you should know by SOHCAHTOA, some old hippie caught another hippie tripping over apples, that opposite adjacent is tangent. And personally, tangent is my favorite function if you haven't figured out of the 3. I always like to do the opposite adjacent sides whenever I can. You can't always do that. But anyways, since we hopefully agree it's tangent, I know now that the tangent of theta has to equal the opposite side over the adjacent. And now all I need to do to find theta right here is do the tangent inverse on both sides. That cancels out tangent, you see. So I know theta is going to be the tangent inverse of 4/3, whatever that may be. And I so happen to have the calculator work done down here. So follow along here, guys. I know that 4/3 is 1.333. That's what I did right there, 4 divided by 3. And then, of course, the tangent inverse of this answer, 1.33 or 4/3, is 53.13. So therefore, I know theta must be 53.1 degrees. Now, give your teacher at least one decimal place. Don't round it off to 53. Okay, give some accuracy in your answer. Okay, so that's it. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, let's take a look at number 12. Here's my theta. Notice the 3 right here is what we call adjacent to it. It's right next to it. This time, the 7, hopefully you realize, is my hypotenuse, the longest side of the right triangle, according to SOHCAHTOA. Which one uses A and H? Well, that's cosine. Cosine is adjacent hypotenuse. So we know that cosine of theta must be the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. To solve this, all we need to do is do cosine inverse on both sides. So theta is going to be whatever the cosine inverse of 3/7 is. And so let's go to our good old trusty calculator. As you can see, guys, 3/7 is 0.42. That's what I started out with right there, 3/7. And I did the cosine inverse of that answer, 64.62. So we know theta, therefore, must be 64.6. Give at least one decimal place. Okay, guys? Do not round off to 65 in this case. All right, pause the video if you need to. Okay, let's take a look at 13. This time, we're given the angle 68 degrees up here, so we know the angle, we're missing the side. Notice that X down here is opposite of that angle 68, and notice how the 12 right here is adjacent. It's right next to it, right? We're missing the hypotenuse, but guess what? We have opposite adjacent. That's what we're going to run with. So according to SOHCAHTOA, we did this a couple of problems ago. Isn't opposite adjacent tangent? So I know that the tangent of our angle, which is 68 degrees, equals the opposite over the adjacent, which is 12. So all I'm going to do is take my trusty calculator, do the tangent of 68. I know over here, to get rid of divide 12, I'm simply going to multiply both sides by 12. And that's going to give me x, right? So x is going to equal, let's go to my calculator work here. Notice that the tangent of 68 is 2.475. But see, leave it in the calculator. Don't clear it out. And as I discussed, we're going to take 12 times our tangent of 68, right? And here is our answer. 29.7 degrees. Again, give at least one decimal place. And that's how it's done, guys. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, this will be the last one, number 14, guys. As you can see, I know my angle 59 is right there. Notice the x is adjacent to it. Notice the 12 is across, which we refer to as opposite. So we have another tangent one. So guys, don't let this review trick you into thinking everything is tangent, by the way. There's going to be sine, there's going to be cosine on the quiz most likely, okay? Not just everything tangent. But anyways, finishing up, I know that the tangent of 59 degrees has to equal the opposite over adjacent. Notice how it's upside down over here, guys. Now hopefully you realize you can do one underneath there and cross multiply. Inevitably, you're going to end up with x equal to 12 divided by the tangent of 59. A shortcut, in other words, would be whenever you know this is upside down, instead of multiplying, in this case, by 12, you're going to take 12 and divide by your tangent. So I always remember it's going to be a divide problem. You could also remember just to switch these places. X is 12 over tangent. So when it's upside down, you could switch them also. But anyways, finishing up, all I need to do is do 12 divided by the tangent of 59, right? Let's go to our calculator one more time. Notice the tangent of 59 is 1.664. Leave it in your calculator. Don't erase it. I know I'm going to take 12 and divide by that answer. And that's why I get a nice, accurate answer of 7.21. Your teacher, I believe, is going to want you to just round off to the nearest tenth. So we just figured out, guys, that x right there is 7.2. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do SOHCAHTOA. And hopefully you're very good at it, especially since we did it a lot last year together. I'll see you in class.